Hello guys, back with another F-150 repair. This week has not been a good week for this truck. First the AC compressor, now this. So I drive this truck to work. My wife usually drives this one, but we're getting ready to go on the trip here. And I drive this truck to work, and I noticed that there is a ton of play in the steering. You see that? So I'm thinking, golly, that can't be safe. I mean, I get it, the Excursion wanders, and that's because of the type of steering setup that it has. But this thing has a steering gear, regular steering gear, like a small car. So there's no reason there should be that much play in it. Something's definitely wrong here. And we had noticed that the steering was stiff every once in a while. It would kind of seize up, lock up a little bit lightly, and then it would work perfectly fine again. And I think I figured out what the problem is. So you take a look under the hood here. Here is what they call the intermediate steering shaft. The intermediate steering shaft right here comes through the firewall, and then it's got a couple little bitty U-joints in it right here. So you can see I've got some penetrating oil sprayed on there to help get this thing apart when I get the new one. Follow it down here under the coolant hose. It goes to the steering gear. Alright, so this shaft right here is the intermediate steering shaft where it connects to the steering gear below. There should be no play in this, or very, very little at the most. And the truck is not on, so I won't have power steering. I'm just going to grab the steering shaft up here by the firewall, and you'll be able to see how much play this has in it. That's a pretty serious problem. That is a lot of play. I mean, look at that. Look how much play that is. That's very concerning. So I'm glad I caught this before we went on our trip. The only part that sucks is this stupid part is $300. This, I'm not even joking, this shaft, it just runs from the firewall down to the steering gears, $300. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, but I don't have a choice. I mean, the truck has to be ready for tomorrow, so I've got to go get the part now, and I've got to install this. There's no way that I'm gonna drive this truck and pull a trailer with a horse in it with that steering shaft having that much play. No way I'm gonna do that. Not safe at all. Alright, I got the old steering shaft loose. It wasn't too bad. 13mm bolt on top, 10mm bolt on the bottom. You can get underneath there with a screwdriver and a hammer, tap it from underneath to slide it off the steering shaft. But here we go. There it is. Here's the old steering shaft. And now that we got it out of plain daylight here, I'll show you just how bad this was. How worn out it really truly was. Look at that. Look at all that play. Bearings are just completely shot in there. It's kind of like, when a U-joint goes bad. Eventually it's going to come apart, except this is a steering. And if this comes apart, you are not steering that truck anywhere. And towing a horse trailer with a horse in it? I don't think so. So there you go. There's the bad steering shaft. Look at all that play. So, like I said, not too bad. The most painful part of this job is right now going to spend $300 on a new one. So here we are. $315. Okay, it's done. And that job wasn't too bad. And I gotta give a lot of the credit to this old can of AC Delco rust penetrator and inhibitor. I don't know where I got this thing from. I think this was from the days of my Chevrolet dealership as a technician about, golly, probably over, like 10 years ago now. But I just probably used half that can, and I just soaked this whole thing several times. It really seemed to make a huge difference in getting the old one off and putting the new one on. So there's a new one, as you can see. We're tight there. Go down here, we're tight down there too. Rerouted that wiring harness that you see in the middle there just a little bit away from the steering shaft so it doesn't rub on it. And let's fire this thing up, see if it steers any better. First off, let's check for play. The steering column here. And is it any different? Oh, wow. There is no play in it at all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's tight. That's like brand new tight right there. Look at that. The play is gone. That is so much better. Wow. The little resistance that I felt while turning it, that's all gone. Steering feels like brand new now. Much better. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.